welcome to Wilcox Nursery and Landscape. I'm Bruce Turley, the owner, and this is where we are focused on native plants and sustainable products and practices. We're going to be talking about native plants and identifying and getting you familiar with some of our native plants. We're going to do a segment where we do some points of interest around the nursery and talk about some of the plant displays that you can see plants grown out. So the question always arises is, what is a native plant? A native plant would be a plant that occurred here naturally prior to European contact here in the New World. And why do we plant native plants? Native plants have adapted the diversity of environments we have in Florida, and so they are able to help us reduce our input from fertilizers, pesticides, and they're really fantastic for providing sustainability from our pollinators up the whole chain of life. And they, of course, give us a sense that we know where we are as opposed to anywhere else on the globe. This is our display that's kind of a little miniature hammock area, canopied by our state tree, Cabbage Palm. These are young ones that are just coming up. But in the understory and the backdrop, we have Myrcene. Again, it's native in our coastal hammocks here in the Tampa Bay area. Has that beautiful, rich foliage. Again, they're male and female plants. The females produce these really congested branches of little tiny BB-sized berries. And again, the birds like those berries, and it can be kind of an interesting look on the plant. The flowering is not particularly attractive or noticeable in it, but the fruit on the female plants does have a nice service as far as attracting the birds and giving a little bit of ornament. In the understory, we have also the American Beautyberry. American Beautyberry is always a favorite. It's super easy to grow in areas that are well drained. It can take shade or sun. And of course, in the late part of spring and early part of the summer, it produces these little lavender pink blooms that are really kind of understated, but are really a beautiful display. And again, attract a variety of pollinators. We never really talk about the blooms enough on Beautyberry, but it is one of the really nice features of Beautyberry. And of course, what they're really known for are these outrageous displays of purple berries in the fall. Again, the berries are a good attractor for songbirds, and just an incredible nice display. Also in this planting, you see the miniature form of shiny coffee. That coffee is something that we've talked about a couple times. It's a plant that is really, as you can see, is really a rich, beautiful plant ornamentally, and is just full of green berries right now, getting ready to color up and give this plant a really nice display. In this miniature form, you can see how useful this could be in a landscape setting where you want something that's growing lower, but it has great tolerance for shade or partial shade. All right, in this area we have a backdrop of firebush. Firebush, again, is just a super popular plant with people that are doing wildlife gardening. Not only is it one of our really colorful natives, but it's a great attractor for hummingbirds, for nectaring butterflies, and then the songbirds will come to the really showy and attractive fruit on firebush. The foliage gets a nice burnish color during the cool months, and again, just great color. This is Bahama cassia that we have planted with it. I always love this combination. Like privet cassia that we talked about earlier, Bahama cassia blooms with big clusters of yellow blooms in the fall and the spring. It's a great attractor for nectaring butterflies, including being a host plant for several species of our sulfur butterflies. Again, a nice lacy texture, just a really nice complement. And in front of all that, we've created a ground cover with native frog fruit, matchweed, or phylla, whatever you want to call it. And again, it's a really common plant that grows throughout most of Florida. It's a member of the verbena family, and it has those little match head style flowers. It's a great attractor for a diversity of our butterflies, as well as being a great host plant for butterflies. And again, it has all the hallmarks of a great ground cover, that it can be mowed, it can be walked on, it can be edged like any good ground cover, and gives you great color and just buku's amount of butterflies. So that's our tour of our little vignettes here at the nursery. And if you really want a dynamic 365, 24/7, plant native plants in your landscape, like our firebush here and our goldenrods, and you will bring all kinds of life to your landscape.